Okay, welcome back to making Bioshock containers in Unreal Engine 4. As you can tell, quite a lot has changed. Lots of visual changes mostly. And straight away, what you'll notice has changed is I've got a take all items part of the blueprint now. Previously it was just saying you've taken all items, then closing the inventory and not actually doing anything. Now we actually have something that some functionality to it. It basically just goes through each of the items in the array of the container you're looking at. It first gets the array, then for each of those items it does quite a complicated little bit here, and okay, so let's go over it properly. If the item is 0, then just skip everything, go to the end, and stop. Go to the next item. If it's not nothing, so if it's not 0, it goes in here, and then it first checks if it's more than 7, because any item that's more than 7 is one of these 3 items, and those 3 items are specific items that get used instantly. You eat or drink them instantly and they have an instant effect on the character. So if they are one of them, they go up there and do something special. We'll come back to that in a second. If they're not one of those, if they're an actual item that gets put into a storage location or part of the array that you've seen before in the event graph in the construction script, just this, all these correspond to an item that can be picked up. If they're one of those, then it gets the player inventory that relates to that item, and while it's less than 10, so 10 is the limit at the moment, you can only have 10 monies, 10 health packs, etc. If the player has less than 10, then add one to it, and then change the items to hand as well, because the actual UI is taking information from the player, not from the container, so it has to update the player's array of what it's looking at as well. Then player sound that isn't selected yet. Delay, which is important because in the actual Bioshock games there is a slight delay in each item you take, and then finish. If you do have more than 10 of that item at a time, then at the moment it just says too many items in inventory already. It does say that in the actual game, but not with just a print string. I'll change it to make it just look a bit better later. And then play a different sound, which as well isn't selected yet. Same duration, and then output. Then we've got, if it's one of the crumb treats, Pepsi or cigarettes, it goes up here. And at the moment it is just checking because there's only 3 of them. If the item is 7, so if it's a crumb treat, then increase HP by 0.1 and go out back to setting the array elements for the player as well as the container. If it's not the crumb treat, then check if it's Pepsi. If it's not the Pepsi, check if it's the cigarettes. Pepsi increases Eve, crumb treat increases HP, cigarettes decrease HP and increase Eve. That's how it is in the game, so I thought I'd keep that. This is a note to myself in the future for making the this value different for each of the items, so you can have a lot more ammo than you do have health packs, for example. At the moment it's all just 10. That will change. And yep, that happens for each 3 indexes in the array, and then it closes the inventory. That works very well. A little bit of fine-tuning to do, like these things up here, very repetitive, and there's going to be more than 3 items, probably. We'll look into that. The containers, I have updated it a bit so that at the start of the game, if the containers contain 000, then they get a random, they do what they did before and they get a random amount. If they don't contain 000, so if they start the game with substance inside them, then they don't get the random integers and they stay with what they had at the start. This is what I was talking about before, where the creators could edit it themselves. And basically, because it's an array that's public, this one, it means that the person in Unreal Engine can click on any container they want, and in default items held, you can actually change these to any value you want. If you change them, then they will stay with this inventory when you start the game. However, like with this test I've done, if you leave them at 0, 0, 0, it will create a random inventory for you. The randomness should be, again, at the moment it's literally just absolutely anything. It's equal chance to get gin as it is to get health kit. That's not quite right, so I will be changing it so that health kits and Eves are more rare, money's common, pistol ammo's common, but shotgun ammo is not, all that kind of stuff. But for now it's just completely random if you leave it at 0, 0, 0. Did I do anything else with here? The bubble sort, I made it more efficient. I made a function that itself contains all the functionality of bubble sorting something, so that I can just plug in the sequences and just change these two values in each of them. So basically, instead of actually having the functionality here and here, taking up twice the space, now it's just one place, and it goes to the same place with two different values, and the two values are the only thing that changes, which is very efficient compared to what I had before. So with the inventory UI, again, not much has changed. It's just I did have macros before, now I have functions. Macros replace the macro node with all this stuff, whereas functions, it's this stuff and it just gets called in, not copied in. It's not actually duplicating anything. This is the only version of it, and it just gains information and gives an output, which again is more efficient. Yeah, nothing else really changed here. It's the same. What is new is we have an actual HUD, a generic HUD, a heads-up display, which is very simple. I've just got a bunch of images with the image that there's no function, no binding. It's literally just an image for each of these. But then I've got some text boxes which do link to the image, and basically what they do is they just display how much money the player has in their inventory, how many pistol ammo they have, all that, how many. So this isn't the health, this is the health kits, which you use to increase your health. And that's, yeah, sorry, these are also health bars, which are progress bars, so they increase and decrease. And basically for all of the all these things, it just outputs a number from your inventory. So for example, the machine gun, literally just the get inventory node, which just casts to the first person player, gets that index and returns it. Very simple. The Eve bar and health bar, they have their own thing just because they're actually getting their own variable from the first person player. First person player has the HP and Eve as a separate variable. They're just set to 0.5 so I can test things out, which means that when you start the game these will be half full. And I have given them red for health and blue for Eve, like in the game. I think that's it, so I can just show you what I've got now. I've given it some examples, pick-up tests, so just testing that you can pick up all the items. We've seen that in other recaps, but I thought I'd test it anyway. This is testing that I can actually put specific things in there, and that it updates the inventory each time, and then that the items that get used specifically as you pick them up do get used specifically as you pick them up. So UI is there, it works pretty well. I've given the player some basic inventory. I haven't changed that since last time, I think, so it's literally just in the construction script this. So 0 is nothing, One is health packs, so you start with money, sorry. One is money, you start with 8 money, you start with 3 health packs and 2 Eve packs, etc. It all corresponds to all this. So 1 is money, 2 is health packs, etc. So as you can see, you have 8 money, so 8 ones in the array. And the random test gives you a random assortment of items. That's all good. Pistol test pickup, I just put 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, and each of those gets picked up, and go into the inventory. So this container has 2 shotguns, so if you look down in the bottom corner, the shotgun icon has a 0 next to it. I press E, and it slowly goes up to 2, because I picked up those 2. Same with the pistol, all of it should work all along these. Money test, so this one's interesting, because I have 8 money at the moment, and the limit is 10, I only pick up 2, and then it says too many items in inventory already. Money at the top corner is 10 now, and 1 money is left in the inventory. Ammo test, pretty much the same as you saw before. The UI at the bottom corner updates when I pick up the items. Eve packs, that increases up in the corner there. Same with health packs, the 3 goes up to a 6. And now the creme treats, they actually increase my actual health, not the amount of health packs I have. So 3 creme treats increases by 0.1 each time, because the health bars at the top go from 0 to 1, so it increases by 0.3 in total. Pepsi works on the Eve, and the cigarettes make the health go down and Eve go up. And you drink it even if your Eve is full, because it still has an effect on you. I'm pretty sure that is the same in the game, yeah, I remember doing that. So the health went down, but the Eve was maxed out, so it still had an effect on you. And yep, that's what I've got so far. I'm sure I can still streamline it a bit and add some more functionality to anything that I've missed out. Cool, I'll be back again with another update soon.